voice in my heart helps me move forward. Life is no longer stranded. The world is grand. Life is in my hands. Love always helps me move forward. Always cultivate before time fades away. Time passes, blink of an eye. We cannot go back in time. Let's get together and strive forward. Love always helps me move forward. Make my life shine and be the star of life. It's always bright. Love always reminds me to move forward. Time is ticking and slipping away. Love always reminds me to move forward. Winds blow and clouds come and go. Love always reminds me to move forward. Happiness in my hands. Life is so grand. A voice in my heart helps me move forward. Life is no longer stranded. The world is grand. Life is in my hands. Love always helps me move forward. Always cultivate before time fades away. Time passes, blink of an eye. We cannot go back in time. Let's get together, stride forward. Love always helps me move forward. Make my life shine and be the star of life. It's always bright. Love always reminds me to move forward. Time is ticking and slipping away. Love always reminds me to move forward. Winds blow and clouds come and go. Love always reminds me to move forward. Happiness
Hello and welcome to our Super Life Secret Codes online workshop. My name is Ryan Sway, and first I'd like to thank Master Sun for providing us these great tools to improve our lives. I also want to thank our panelists and all the participants from around the world. Super Life Secret Codes teaches us how to take control of life using energy management. The book was written as a life manual focusing on the two codes of love and gratitude. If used properly, these two codes can help us achieve success in every aspect of our lives. Okay, welcome everyone. And tonight we are reading in the Abundance book. And as the title states, abundance is so simple. And we really just need to ensure that our positioning is correct and that we are flexible and open to making these different adjustments in life. There are so many things in our lives that we do every day that we may actually do pretty okay at, and we maybe even lead others sometimes in what we do. However, we may be doing it wrong, and we may be exerting more energy than we need. We may be burning ourselves out unknowingly. And we also may be, just again, creating kind of a challenge where a challenge should not be. And sometimes it's difficult for anyone to notice this because, in all intents and purposes, you're doing what you're supposed to do. Like, imagine if you're at work, you're doing your job, you're getting your work done. Your supervisor's not watching you like a hawk. And a lot of us, we don't really have like a coach at work. We have a boss and they have a boss. And those people typically look at the final number or the results, and they don't really watch you necessarily along the way. And most of them feel like, hey, if you're a senior position, you know what you're doing. Occasionally, if you're lucky, and Mimi and Vivian, you guys can kind of chime in, let me know. Sometimes companies will send employees out to get trained, to become better at what they do. Give them an opportunity for improvement. Hopefully your companies do, but if they don't, then you really are, they're relying on you to be the best employee, the best whatever position you are, on your own. And they also are expecting you to coach yourself and to monitor and figure out if you are using the best practices. I know in the past, Vivian's mentioned that the company changes software and processes, more frequently than may be needed, and that's supposed to help. But I'm curious, and we can talk more about this later, is does that really help if all they do is change call it the software, and then teach people how to use it? That in itself, to some people, they would say, yes, this is absolutely going to save us money, be more efficient. But now you have literally rookies amongst your veterans, experienced people with a new software. So it takes time, right, to learn these things. Hopefully, new software makes it easier to learn and you can do it quickly. But with most things, everything takes time to become an expert. Typically, experience is what separates an expert from someone who's okay and someone who's not very good. These experiences is when, some would call it wisdom. So as we think about abundance and as we're trying to do all these great things in our lives, we really want to make sure that we have some sort of coaching or a program, in which we do with Super Life Secret Codes, through Master Sun, and of course this abundance book. And I'm going to share something for those of you that have been following. I've shared, for the last few months, or last 2 or 3 months, I have been taking lessons and really trying to become better at golf. So I've got a coach, and it's really unraveled a lot of things that I thought I was doing something right before, and it was working for 20 some years, but I was completely off. And when I finally took the time to break it down, there was all kinds of things. And so the interesting thing is I've been doing this for like 9 weeks or 10 or 12 weeks now. So about 3 months. And today there was like this huge breakthrough with my coach in that I was doing something that was fundamentally so far off. I'll give you the analogy. It's like using your steering wheel in your car as the gas pedal and the gas pedal as the steering wheel. That was essentially the two functions that I was mixing up. And the funny thing was, I was making it work. Everybody was very impressed with my improvement from over these last few months. But I still was using this thing so backwards that one, it shocked me and it shocked my coach. But what it really did for me, like outside of golf, is it really shows that we have ways to make things work. And unless somebody is really watching us, you will never know. I could have continued to golf like this forever if I never took another lesson. I probably would never learn that difference because somehow I can make it work. But it's tiring. So in golf, what was going wrong that to me I thought was just normal? I was wearing out golf gloves because I was using this hand incorrectly. It was kind of tiring on my arm, but I just assumed it was, my muscles not ready, not used to this type of work. So it would take time. And I'm sure over time I would train the muscles to work the way it's supposed to. But mind you, I would have trained it to completely do something different. So imagine it's almost like driving with we all drive with our right foot, most of us. I think some people from Taiwan use 2 feet, that I've had friends that came from there. But most of us drive with your right foot, you step on the gas, you step on the brake. Well, what if I had taught, somebody said, today you need to drive with your left foot on the brake and your right foot on the gas. That's how it's supposed to be done. Essentially, that's kind of like what I was doing wrong. And again, you probably could make, 2 feet work or 1 feet work, but there's a reason for doing it a certain way. So as we try to improve ourselves and we go through our lives, we really have to, if not someone else to monitor what we do, we have to do that. And this is the hard part because you don't know what you don't know, right? So I've been practicing for months, doing it the way I thought I was told to do, but I was totally doing it wrong. So I can only imagine how many things in my life along the way that I've been doing wrong, that I've been making more difficult on myself, maybe more difficult for those people around me, all kinds of different things. And, for me today, it was just golf, but I was talking to my coach about life coaching and self-improvement. And I was just kind of using the same language, the same data. And he said that's exactly how he has to deal with his students, if you will. And so this really gives me more insight and kind of experience now to say, like, no matter what, we all still need to be coached. And I know everybody that's on this channel, and then of course the panelists, we're all constantly trying to improve, and we have Master Sun as our coach. But this is really, important, and we do have to monitor it. And then occasionally we have to do a deep dive to make sure what we're doing is actually correct. So, with that being said, I just want everyone to kind of think about the things that you're doing each day and how much time do you actually spend kind of auditing yourself, right? Or is there anyone else auditing your work and how you do your work? Again, at the end of the day, I know Mimi and Vivian are experts at what they do, so they'll make it work. But with a new system in like Vivian's world, it may take a little bit of a learning curve now because of this new system. But at the end of the day, I'm sure you'll make it work. My question would be more, as you're making it work, one, do you feel like it's helpful or is it kind of more work and difficult? And then what would it take, to make this new system really smooth out your life and your process? So, that's kind of a Vivian thing you can maybe share with us later or, after the reading and sharing. Let us know your thoughts on that. But for the rest of us, what else are we doing in life right now that we monitor this closely, or that someone is watching us? Besides, golf and doing this, I never really, outside of sports when I was younger, had anyone really critique everything I do. They usually just look at the results. What were the numbers? How did it go? They didn't really coach me along the way. I think Super Life Secret Codes is the most recent and most thorough in the sense of coaching. So I think it's really important, and I think we can find ways to improve our lives just within what we're doing, if we can fine tune it and kind of pick those points out. Okay, so with that, let me introduce our panelists. We have Amy from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Vivian from Walnut, California. And we have Mimi from Irvine, California. And again, we're going to be reading in the Abundance book, and it is a dialogue between Master Sun and a student. If you hear my voice, then those are the words of Master Sun. And if you hear the voices of the panelists, then those are the words of the student. Okay, so let's get started. Let me adjust the screen real quick. Hold on one second. Okay, we 106.
103.
Oh, sorry, 103. You're right. Okay, looks like I start. First step. First, sincere repentance, setting firm aspirations. First step, you read the Super Life Secret Codes book thoroughly. I used very simple language in this book. As long as you are literate, you can understand. If you can't understand the first time, read it again, and the second and third time. If you still cannot understand, take note that it could be your negative energy is preventing you from understanding, because they know once you understand the book and do the practice, you can easily achieve your goals. With their hatred towards you, they try to prevent it.
What should I do then?
You should repent sincerely. Sincere repentance is your shortcut towards a worry-free life. The second step is love and gratitude.
Gratitude. It is easy to say, but it is difficult to do it well. I feel rather insincere.
I shall give you homework. Today, go back and list down 10 things that you can be grateful for. They can be people, experiences, or objects, as long as they make you feel grateful. Send your gratitude to all these things. Does this sound easy to do?
Should be easy.
And you need to know one thing. If you do not force yourself to do so, you will not change your fate. By doing so, you can break through from the original track of life.
But sometimes if we meet some combative people, it is very difficult to express our gratitude.
Life is like a play. Do you know acting? Lies repeated 10 times become the truth. If you cannot express gratitude for the first time, keep practicing. After repeated practice, you will be able to master it. The second essential step in the Super Life Secret Codes book talks about love and gratitude. The methods in the book are meant to help you in reaching a state. You need to practice and experience it in your daily life. Feel grateful every second, every minute, and every day. This is the desired state.
While feeling gratitude every second, every minute, and every day.
Practice gratitude in stages. When you first begin, express gratitude on 10 things in a day. Once you're skilled in this, express gratitude on several things during the morning, afternoon, evening, and night, respectively. Moving on to the next stage, every hour, ask yourself what you should be grateful for. Moving on to another stage, every minute, ask yourself what you should be grateful for. Finally, you will reach a state, even when you see a flower blooming, you will be grateful for its beauty. Can you do this?
All right, I will start practicing.
Over time, you will perfect this skill and do not need to force yourself to express gratitude. The feelings just flow out naturally. For example, at the lectures, I feel grateful to people who walk around because if they do not walk around, I could not get familiar with them. So I feel grateful to them. You need to focus on the key factors when you express gratitude. Do it again and again, expressing your gratitude. Over time, your life will be changed.
So expressing gratitude every second is the beginning to changing our life. Wonderful.
You do not have to directly tell people, I am grateful to you. If you do, you may be construed as crazy. You need to interact mutually with people and let your gratitude flow out naturally and let people feel your passion. By doing so, you will build good relationships. With good relationships, good things come naturally. In the past, you did not get business. Now everyone starts to introduce business to you. In the past, you did not have good relationships with colleagues. Now everyone invites you out for lunch. Isn't life like a movie? It hinges on whether you want or don't want.
I do feel my life has changed after I have participated in this system, but I also see people leaving the system. Why is that so?
A person's poor situation is always attributable to his own fault. During my one-on-one consultations, I always hear this. I'm very busy. Wait till next month. This easily drags for 3 years, 5 years, until they face an emergency state. Then they will come back and plead, Master, I am really regretful. I should have listened to you from the beginning. But even then, will they listen and follow? These kinds of people always find excuses to prevent themselves from progressing.
I thought because we have so many problems, we need to find the root cause for correction and then prevention.
I've seen many people like this. The people who sincerely seek teaching, so no matter how busy I am, I will spare time for them and give them more advice and wish them an early release from their current shackles of life. However, for people who merely want to test out the capability of Master Sun, I will firmly tell you not effective at all. If you do not open your heart, there is no need to seek consultation from me as it will not be effective. Okay, we can pause there. Vivian, would you like to share?
Yes, thanks for letting me read this section. Master Sun says here, set a firm aspiration. This means we must be determined to say yes without hesitation. Reflecting on myself, I realized I missed 3 opportunities to join Superlife Secret Ecosystem between 2010 to March 2020. But it's during the COVID period. I finally had a chance to attend Master Sun's workshop. It's my first time to attend that. I still remember it's March 27th, 2020. And I had no doubt that after joining it, and then I just feel like, wow, Super Lab Secret Ecosystem is so good. I just joined it right away. And then by reading these paragraphs, this talks about being sincerely grateful. And then many people might feel that the pandemic turned their lives upside down. However, I feel grateful for it because without it, I truly would not have the opportunity to come into Super Life Cyclical System to study. From March 2020 to July this year, I appreciate my company because my company only required us to go into office 2 days a week, saving my commuting time. I did appreciate this helped me. I have more time at home and I can study Master Sounds, a lot of books, and it did great. And then during the pandemic, I appreciate my company. the HR staff was so considerate and generous. The company provide free meals for all employees who came into the office, and then they stocked 2 large refrigerators with different kind of drinks, and they even offer snacks for us to enjoy. And then even now, the company treat everyone for lunch once a month, and then celebrate birthday with cakes. And then before learning Super Life Secret Code, I probably just think, hey, it was simply the company's responsibility to take care of the employees. But now, after I joined Super Life Secret Code, I realized, wow, every little thing deserves gratitude because nothing should be taken for granted. And Master Song often remind us that we should be grateful not only in good times, but also in difficult times. Gratitude in good times is easier, but in the past, whenever I encountered adversity, I found it was almost impossible to be grateful. How could we be thankful when we were frustrated and upset? But now through the study in Super Life Secret Code system, I remind myself that everything that happens is beneficial to me, which helps me grow, help me train myself at different levels. For example, at work, recently at work, the product managers design a new promotion program. However, one of the product manager was new to the company, and then the manager and then the new manager they don't know they didn't know how to operate it across. We have 2 systems. They don't know how to do it. And then when everyone brainstorm the solutions, the product manager's suggestion turned out to cause problems in financial reports and the budget numbers. So I explained the risk to them and then suggest a better approach. The process needed to be completed in 2 steps. First step has to be done by our Asian IT department. And then the second step has to be done in US IT department. So the system could automatically process the operation. This was the most efficient way. Unfortunately, our US IT coworker was overloaded with other projects. And then he said to us, hey, your request was not a priority, and then it will be pushed far back in the queue. And then meanwhile, the sales was pressuring the product managers to hurry up the shipment to the customer. In this situation, we had to look for other help from the sales element team to see if they could handle it manually, just enter all the sales order manually. At first, the sales element team supervisor was unhappy, and then she didn't like the manual work. In the past, if I hadn't studied Super Life Secret Code, I would have immediately started complaining. I might think, why our IT department is so incompetent? Why the sales element team is not flexible? It will be in my mind, but I probably felt, hey, it's just one sales order. Why can they solve it? I might have even started criticizing the coworker in my heart and thinking, hey, this person had attitude, and hey, that person was is not cooperative. But now I appreciate learning in Super Life Secret Code system. I stay calm and I accept that IT couldn't resolve the issue quickly. And then instead, I communicate patiently with the sales element supervisor in a pleasant tone, and then always sending the gratitude. And then as a result, the sales element supervisor agreed to manually process the order, and then it smoothly went out today. And then everyone's happy. And then this experience taught me the importance of the energy. When we have enough positive energy and gratitude in mind, communication no longer carries negative emotion or conflict. And then I feel like high energy leads to good outcomes. Thinking of if everyone, okay, had been frustrated, and then salespeople probably pushing, customers are waiting, and then co-workers arguing, there would have been no win-win situation. But by practicing gratitude, and then I have a calm communication, the situation ended successfully. Therefore, I'm truly grateful to be learning through Superlife Cyclical System because it always it allows challenges to turn into opportunities and have difficulties to result in positive outcome. And then this is just what happened this couple of days. And then by Ryan asked me about a new system. Yeah, definitely our company is planning to change our ERP system from Oracle to another new system. The Oracle system operate all the like AP, AR, GL, fixed assets, inventory, order management, and then everything. All the transactions are done in our ERP system. The company want to change to a new system because the Oracle system is not upgraded for a couple of years. And then they want to have that efficient system also want to be like an AI related. So for employees, definitely we don't want to change because it will involve a lot of setups and then all the setup, well, we have to create a new code and then also work with the bank because the bank and our system has to be connected to each other to have the cash management module run smoothly. So think about it. We are only accounting, only like ARAP, inventory, GL, fixed assets. That's it. But for IT department, they need to involve all the modules. So should we complain? No, right? They should complain because changing the new system, they will spend a lot of time to do this and that and also customize all the reports. But for all the meetings I involve, they never complain. They only just look for some solution because we have a lot of customized function and a report. They just try to look for solution to help the users. So from here, and then I just learned that they should be the ones to have all the complaint and then say no, we don't want to change it. But none of them say it. And I feel like wow, their attitude was so good. So this made me feel like okay, for accounting, we should just cooperate with the company's decision, and then because they benefit to the company, and then efficiency will be improved. So I feel like from learning Superlife Cyclical, I have less complaint, and then I see the good part of changing the new system instead of like I don't want to change it. Oh, it's too much work, blah blah blah. So I feel like learning in Superlife Cyclical made me have a good logical concept, and then just work together with the related department to have this project done smoothly. Thank you. This is just my sharing.
Thank you, Vivian, for your sharing. Yeah, so as I'm hearing, this transition, like you said, I think Superlife Secret Codes has really helped because, for most people, you kind of don't like to change. And then a lot of times when you're not happy with the change, it's easier to nitpick and say like, see, look, this problem, this doesn't do this. And you could spend a lot of your time just kind of marinating in all the problems that you see with the new thing and then really not see the benefit of the new thing because you're still kind of complaining about it. Definitely, I think without Superlife Secret Codes and what you've shared before, you'd probably be a very different person on how to receive this new change. So I think not only does it help you, but I'm sure it helps you with the people around you. The other question I had earlier, I was curious, is that even, I imagine with this change, your company's spending a lot of time and money to fix things, or to update you guys, teach you how to use it. But do they periodically send you guys to do like seminars or anything to improve yourselves, above and beyond a specific, say, software?
For software, definitely, they will send a consultant to train us. But for other training, the HR has to give us send us to the management class. Yeah, all the supervisor above have to go to the management class. But I think after pandemic, we do online. And then each year we have to do the workshop online, and then we have to go through the test. We
Oh,
have to
okay.
get some score and it can pass. And then definitely harassment. Everyone has to go to harassment class, and then
Hmm.
has to pass certain score. Otherwise, you have to retake. Yeah, so I think a company benefit us a lot, and especially recently, one of the employee suddenly had a heart attack, and then current employee have only two employee know how to do CPR. So because of this case, the company, the HR is so good, they arrange the CPR training. It's not required for everyone to attend, but they encourage us to attend this training class. Just you never know, something might happen around your family member or coworker at work. So it will help us to have a new skill. So I think there's a company, I appreciate the company always think about the employee, their benefit. Thank you.
Okay. Well, great. Um, so last question, kind of a quick answer, I'm sure. The training that you get, like, what have you learned from it? Is it something that makes you really change what you do, or does it confirm, the things that they've mentioned before, or is it kind of you can use it if you really want to, or it's kind of just, more information, but hasn't really shared much to you, or has it really, improved, things for you?
Yeah, for the harassment class, like before, I never know, okay, the way you talk, the words or the tone you communicate with other coworkers, if the other side feel uncomfortable, they can say something about
Hmm.
your misbehavior to the HR and you will be in trouble. So,
Okay.
and also you can touch other people's, no matter it's women or men, they can sue you. So
Hmm.
you're like, whoa, this is so different than what we think, because we think, oh, I'll give you a hug or pat your back. No, no, we have to be careful about this because we have a lot of American people in our company. So uh, we just have to be careful about it. And also for the management class, because before from regular employee promoted to supervisor and promoted to manager, we probably think it just work-wise. We never think about manage employees. So through the class, we know how to consider about employees' thoughts, employees' voice. Like before, probably just order, hey, this is what you should do. Never consider about people's feeling. So right now, everything has to be handled carefully. Yeah, not just like a whatever I do, what I think. Yeah, so,
Hmm.
so different. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it seems, you know, things are, this harassment stuff is definitely new. Like things that, we are accustomed to, like, giving someone a hug or patting them on the back, or, you know, fist bump, high five. Some of these things may, again, depending on how the person receives it, even though that gesture is usually positive, someone could take it, the wrong way, like you said, if the tone's not right. Um, so that's probably one of those situations where the new rules maybe will conflict with the old ways of doing things, and we have to make those adjustments. Otherwise, we unknowingly could be like strike one, strike two, strike three against somebody that we had no idea that we're doing that. Hopefully, we could find ways to be more positive to help people, and we keep adding positive things. Um, but again, I think these are some of those things that it's great that Vivian's company is providing all this. Other companies may not. So, how would we know what we're doing if it's right or wrong? Only until someone who comes from a company that maybe has had that infrastructure and then they say, you harassed me because you spoke to me in the wrong tone or something, like that would be like in the section we read. You don't really know until something bad happens. So it's really interesting, the things that we're doing in life. Hopefully, where you work, they'll train you well. But at the very least, as your own individual, as you're improving your own life, Super Life Secret Codes and Master Sun's lectures, these all provide us tools to guide us as to, what is kind of right and wrong as a human being, and then how we can manage our energy so that we don't ever come across, sending the wrong negative energy when we're trying to be positive. Okay, well, thank you, Vivian, for your reading and sharing. We'll now go to the next section, and Mimi and I will be reading. So, okay, let's see. Spotlight.
I start on page 107. Everything starts from the heart. If we do not open our heart, it's useless to seek anyone's help, right?
Yes, we control our own destiny. Many people only realize their fault after suffering from losses, and it is hard to say whether they will recoup. For example, I remind you to avoid fried foods, but you refuse to listen and eat fried chicken every day. One day you find out you have cancer, and you say, I recall Master reminded me to avoid fried foods before. But why did you still eat so much fried chicken?
Does this have something to do with our negative energy?
This has to do with our logical concept. There are even cases where people do not feel like eating fried chicken, but because there is a buy one, get one free promotion, they give themselves an excuse and they feel they have made a gain by eating the fried chicken. Every day when people wake up and open their eyes, in terms of food, clothes, housing, traveling, health, or entertainment, they may not realize how many wrongs they have done. When things are done beyond the limit, issues arise. When issues arise, if they are not rectified, they could develop to a point of no return.
We have many students who originally have done wrong beyond the limit, but because they followed the right system, they managed to switch their lives, correct? Right?
Yes, people with wisdom will leverage on gratitude to pull themselves back and prevent themselves from doing much more beyond the limit. Can you understand?
I understand.
Today I had a student who asked me, Master, I do not feel good. I keep feeling very bad luck. What should I do? I said very simply, this is a typical sign of instability. Let's not dwell on whether this is right or wrong, but start deep breathing first. Adjust your mind frequency and refer to the mind switching method we taught you before. Once your mind is switched and coupled with the day-to-day spiritual practices, the essential steps 1, 2, 3, plus the theories you have learned, the result will renew your life, and it is that simple.
Hence, we need to learn deep breathing to give ourselves a good grounding. Sometimes when the situation hits, it's not so easy to ground ourselves. What should we do?
You need to learn how to hold yourself in any situation. You need to compete with time. In every unit of time element, leverage on deep breathing to adjust your energy field. Otherwise, you may create error amidst the chaos and lose your energy.
This can only be done by actual practice, right?
Of course, your energy field of love will enhance greatly after a round of heartfelt gratitude. This is a basic reflex and it happens naturally. Towards the end of your gratitude practice, when the genuine feeling of gratitude arises, your feeling of joy will arise too. During this point, capture, and preserve the feeling of joy. Do not scold people after you have captured the feeling of joy, or else you will waste your effort. Understand?
I understand.
Joy produces love energy and it enhances our energy field greatly. Stop blaming bad energy or negative objects. These are all excuses.
I understand.
Your primary goal should be to strengthen and expand your energy field. All the students of Superlife Secret Codes should at least practice until they have an above average energy field. Very often, some students will ask me, Master, I cannot understand why I ended up losing all my energy after a stroll on the road. The answer is because you have not put in enough practice and implementation. You know, there is a close relationship between your energy, your speech, and your behavior. You should stop putting up excuses to avoid practice and implementation.
Heart is the root of everything. There is no excuse in the Superlife Secret Codes. The only way is actual practice, implementation, and experience, correct?
Absolutely. We only have a few decades left in our lives. You have lived several decades already and failed to attain much. Taking yourself as an example, you were studying and working with a large group for the past 10 years. What have you got?
I only truly did spiritual practice and improved my emotional state after I came here.
Okay, we can pause here. Mimi, would you like to share?
I do, yes. So I do like how we read about, everything does start from the heart. And for me, I truly do believe in that. And I try to practice and do everything from the heart, from the bottom of my heart, actually, wholeheartedly, heartfelt, from the roots, which is the heart, and project out whatever I needed to do. And so therefore, for me, when I do my gratitude, or I do my repentance, or I, sometimes speak with the universe, I wholeheartedly, speak from my heart, because that's the true feeling that I am having, and that I want to let them know that I'm not faking it. I'm not trying to take shortcuts. I'm not trying to, find a quick fix kind of thing. So for me, although it'll take time to take me where I need to get to, I know it starts from my heart. So although it might be a long route sometimes, but I know I can get there, because there are times where I've done things, testing it out, of course, because in Superlife Secret Codes, Master Sun does say, do test out, these theories, do test out and do experiences, and you'll see what he means. And it's truly interesting, because I know for the past several years now that I've been in Superlife Secret Codes, I've done some tests myself too, right? And all that it comes down to, for sure, for me, and I'm sure for most of you too as well, is that anything that you do wholeheartedly from your heart really does make the difference. And it does give you the positive energy, balances your energy field. And people do sense and feel it. People do feel, what you do. Because for me, something like this, for example, like at work, right? There's a lot of things I do at work that's not really part of my job description. And it's not like stated that I have to do it. I do it just because I want to do it. And I do it because, one, I like to keep busy. Two, I like to keep company, organized, clean while I can, wherever I'm at, right? And then I like to, make sure that if I do this, hopefully it'll be an impact on someone else. I don't expect anyone else, of course, to do what I put myself out there to do. Simple things like, stocking up the coffee station, the creamers and sugar, or, cleaning up, maybe like, stuff like around the kitchenette area, or, little things like that, I just do. Or I'll sometimes like help, like doing lunches for the teams, or I'll ask around how people are doing. Stuff like that are little things you'd be surprised. It does add up, and people do eventually see it, and then they will feel it. And so for me, I don't ask for any gain, and I never do this for any gain for any reasons. It's just for myself, because I want to do and give, right? Because it's having a job, one, is not is being good, is grateful for me to have a job, because many people may not have a job, right? To have a job and be at a company that you are provided with, it's something that we need to get back in the way, besides just getting a paycheck from the company, of course, right? And sometimes these are not things that the company teaches you. Company doesn't really, tell you or teach you, these things. Like it's just things that I learned myself, whether it be from home or other experiences out there. I just take what I learned that's good. I try to put it out there for others to see. Like I said, no one needs to really stock up the kitchen, utensils or coffee. No one really does it actually. But when I see it's comes to low or empty, people don't know who to go to do it. They're like, oh, so who's supposed to do it? They think like, I don't know, maybe the house cleaning that comes in does it. Not really. Or they think that we hire someone to do it. Not really. It's like we ourselves, people who work there, does it because the company provides us a benefit. We should try to, one, obviously, utilize it, but two, also keep using it by giving back. That's what I think. So if we're being provided like free coffee and tea, so how do we keep the program going, right? It's maybe simply replenish, restock what's out there, and then, stuff like that are things that I see that's beneficial and, for the company, for those around me, for my coworkers, because I know everyone has a very busy schedule. There's no one at a company who's not busy. Everyone's going to say, oh yeah, I'm busy. I don't have time for that. And, especially the executives, they're definitely super busy, right? But jobs like these little things that, you do, or we do, or I do, it doesn't matter. It's still a job, still a function of something that we have to do, because it may not be at work, it could be at home. Even at home, let's just say, for example, whoever finished using the toilet paper, no one restocked it, right? Who's going to do it? But you live at home, so maybe you should do it. So even like the kitchen, if the dishes piles up, I know it happens in a lot of families, like dishes piles up in the sink. Who's gonna clean it, wash it if no one else does? Sometimes, like I know my dad sees it, he just goes and automatically does it because he doesn't want to see messes. He likes to keep things clean and organized. So things that you see that people do, you can build a habit off on. So for me, I built a lot of habits off, learning from my family, my dad especially, and from, my work experience, past job experiences. I take that with me, and any other jobs I go to in the future, I try to put it out there. Like again, no one asked me to do it. I just do it because I want to do it. And then again, I'm not asking to be noticed, not for any gain. I just do it because I just feel we're part of the company. We should do things for the company. But there are individuals, that just doesn't do anything. And then you can't do anything about that because again, maybe they're just not taught. And so no one taught them how to do it. No one knows, again, like I said, that you should give a little help out. But it's just nice for when you do it, if others sees it, they will help. But if you don't do it, no one does it, it will never be done. So for me, it's like I like to do things just because I like to do things. I just don't want to make it inconvenient for anyone else. I like to try to be as convenient for others as I can, because like I said, everyone has a busy schedule. They got a lot of things going on and they don't have time to do it. So no matter what, we're truly equally given 24 hours a day. If you know how to manage your time, you can do anything. And so for me, I like to take on a lot of things that probably I don't need to take on, but I do just because others say they're busy. For myself at my company right now, like I've been there for, I don't know, I think 8-9 years now. And so I just start taking on little things to do that, again, that's not part of my job description. I'm not being paid to do it. I just do it because I want to do it and it helps others. And so like little things adds up from, again, coffee kitchenette area, then doing, setting up lunches. And sometimes now I'm helping with ordering, stocking coffee. And now our company actually recently implemented about a month and a half ago, a free snack/beverage program in the company. So basically we used to have a vending machine downstairs that anybody, colleagues or coworkers, can go buy if they wanted to. And my boss, the COO, I think got rid of the vending machine. I forgot what the reason was. So there was no more vending machine. And so it was empty for many, many months until he finally got around to, I guess, I don't know who he's spoken to at the time or collaborated with, but someone from downstairs, another department, whatever, I think he had spoken to them and they said, yeah, they'll take on the responsibility of, providing snacks and beverages for the entire company. So anyone can come and go, grab whatever they would like. It's just, refreshments to get them going through the day. So stuff like that, like company does benefit us, little things like that, but we don't want to take advantage of it fully. But what I try to do is assist, right? So something that came out, I actually kind of already started that a little bit upstairs, other than restocking the coffee. I actually had been going to Costco buying little snacks for my departments upstairs, the teams upstairs, and I put in the kitchen in the coffee area so they can have a little snack. You know, it's not something again anyone asked me to do. I just do it because it gives them something to have, right? So it's already been done a long time ago, but my boss just never noticed, of course. But when it got implemented downstairs, then you know, me and the controller were talking about it. Hey, let's collaborate with the department downstairs, see if she needs any help, and work with her. So we did that. So that way, it's kind of nice to work with other team members, teach them, give them guidance. You know, that they didn't really know what to do. Another way, the reason why good collaboration is good because it also helps me see what we're spending because I'm in finance and I do the budget, I do the forecasting, I do analysis, you know, I put the numbers in front of the executives. So I kind of want to see what the spends are, and I don't want it to go out of hand because if we're doing a free snack and beverage program in a company every day, you can be surprised the cost does rise up fast when people take. And when there's free stuff, they definitely will take. So I try to put myself out there by, you know, letting them know, hey, we got to be very mindful with our company credit card, how we are spending, because, you know, we have to report it. We don't want it to be out of line. So these are little things I try to myself, you know, give my 2 cents, my suggestion in when we do things is whatever I had brought with me from my past experience of working in other companies, or even from home, or, you know, even from Supervisor Secret Coast, things that I've learned to be, you know, the tools that I have, I try to implement at work as well. Not like fully full blown saying, hey, you guys, I'm going to do this and this is what I want you guys to know, but it's nothing like that. I just do it very subtle, and I just want them to be able to benefit too, because again, super grateful to have company to work for. One of all, two is like having a job, you know, not having a job is a huge difference for sure. So for me, I try my best to provide what I can, given what I've been taught, and super grateful, of course, to Supervisor Codes, because these things help me build my energy and manage my energy. And therefore, me giving back, me helping, I hope I build mirrors this way. And in any time I get into any troubles or I lose negative energy, which I can at least talk to my negative energy and do my repentance, I have some mirrors to work with. But these are things that I myself have tried to do and change my life over from what it was before, because it was completely different before Supervisory Code. So truly am grateful for this, and that's my share. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi, for your sharing. Um, yeah, you know, so one of the great things about Super Life Secret Codes is the stuff that we learn we can apply, like Mimi has shown, to her workplace, and that positive energy can affect other people. So sometimes, you know, we can share directly, hey, look what we learned with Super Life Secret Codes, and that can help people. But sometimes we just kind of share through example and hopefully let our positive energy kind of affect other people. So it's kind of a contagious thing. And it is important to pay attention to that. You know, the section we just read talked a lot about, you know, gratitude every second, every minute. These are the things to look for. And I can assure you, if you're at work looking at your coworkers in a positive, hey, they appreciate these things, they're very happy, they're this, that's going to make the work environment better than if they're ungrateful, they don't pick up their trash, you know, like these types of things. So it's really up to us to have the positioning and then the lens to look for the good things rather than the bad. So again, thank you, Mimi, for your reading and sharing. We'll go on to the next section, and Amy and I will be reading.
Okay.
Okay. And it looks like I start. Indeed, the reason why I am so anxious is because there are many people like you out there who have yet to find their way back home. What will happen to the remaining decades of their lives? We need to ask ourselves, what will become of me in my final phase of life? Is it good or bad? We should take precautions. The smart people, when they see cloudy days, they will bring an umbrella along. The not so smart ones do not bring an umbrella, but at least they will buy one during the rainy day. The unintelligent ones will declare, I look really cool without an umbrella, and they end up with a bad flu and end up troubling their loved ones.
These are self-made choices.
The logical concept of a person is really important. I am not sure if you do, but people buy insurance to have an assurance in their lives and protect themselves against future disasters. Applying SuperLife secret codes in your daily life is like procuring a major insurance policy for your fate and spiritual life.
Wow, buying an insurance for your spiritual life. This is really amazing.
Yes, no doubt about this. I try to teach the best to people. Every time during my one on one consultations, when I hear the consultees being cheated in society or being conned in relationships, I feel rather helpless. These people are not wise. Instead of working with a simple system, they prefer dealing with the complicated ones and end up being cheated and put the blame everywhere but themselves.
This is like what you always say. A person's poor situation is always attri attributable to his own fault.
Exactly. When you come across such a good system that liberates you from hardship, appreciate it right away. Do you, sorry, I covered this. If you want to know whether it is really effective and useful, just try. The part on gratitude alone is worth your effort.
I recall this in a children's song. Try, try, try it again. If at first you don't succeed, try, try, try again.
I always sang this song when I was a kid. Having a mindset for change is very critical. Otherwise, it is difficult for us to face our future. In the current environment, many undesired outcomes are a result of unwillingness to change. If you refuse, your family members and the end relationships will be strained, which will cause further aggravation to the family relationship. No matter how many problems, the point is whether you want a solution, and the solution hinges on change. Change brings possibilities and vitality, but not changing brings gloom.
But if you force yourself to change without the need for change, would this bring problems?
That depends on if you have a clear motive. Many people are afraid of change. You must tell yourself this is just an experiment. If it is successful, there will be an abundance of opportunities and vitality. If it isn't, you just have to go back to the original. With this mindset, you will be more confident to try.
I have learned another good tip. I will tell myself I am just experimenting. That way I feel less pressured.
Yes, work at the root cause. For example, your supervisor is not happy with you. Instead of blaming him, try to ponder and reflect what causes him to be unhappy with you. Is it because he feels you are lazy? In your reflection, trace the root cause and diligently work on changing things. Change and suit yourself in the drama that you have chosen to play in.
I often want to avoid issues before I even think clearly about them, and I feel that here is a huge cloud of shadows behind me, and it is hard to face them.
Be brave, open the cloud of shadows. There is nothing in it actually. You must see clearly before you know how to deal with it. This is a must have mentality for a person who does actual practice.
Okay. I will share. So in this small section, I see the two very important points. One is Master Sun teaches us the concept of energy, and energy equals to buying and spiritual insurance, which is protection. So it's like you have some sort of preparation, prepare for the unexpected situations. So if you don't, and you just have to deal with problems or disasters. So when we have sufficient amount of energy, it's almost like we have a ton of cash in our bank account. So when there problems occurred, or maybe we have a leak at the house, or something is broken, the roof is leaking, or something is not right, we have enough money to cover it. So energy is the same way, and life throws us many unexpected situations. So we got to have sufficient amount of energy to prepare us. Another point here is change. Change is there's a saying, change triggers solution. So in Super Life Secret Codes, Master Sun says the in order to improve your life, you must change. And of course, we want to constantly improve our life. And even with health, relationships, or wealth. We want to get more, right? And better can be even better. So if we are content with where we are and we don't change anything, this energy will stuck and the energy will use up. So that if we don't go upward, we're going backward. It's no in between. Energy doesn't stay still. So we're either spending or we are gaining. So it's important that we practice the Super Life Secret Codes method to generate, to gain, to recharge our energy constantly. And the benefit of it is, so I have an example. There is a story of someone who is more temperamental, and this person gets upset with things that, he doesn't like. Could be, other people make a mistake and will piss him off, or just he gets a noise all the time. So we were talking about, learning Super Life Secret Codes is to mind switching. I mean, we don't have to, we can get mad, but then we're leaking energy. But if we reinterpret the situation and find a good reason to make it a better situation, then we gain energy. So I was just thinking about the benefits of doing this constantly is if because everybody makes mistakes in life, and so do we. And if we can always forgive other people or kind of help out other people a little bit, and we will gain it back because the world is round. So whatever we do, we plant the seed, it's coming back to us. So whatever result that we want in life, whether it's abundance, great relationship, more money, and or more opportunities, we have to make sure that we do it first. We give it to somebody. So this energy or affinity will come back to us. So I was just thinking about recently, I had two great experiences. One is to go to my doctor and actually to the lab, and to draw blood. So I absolutely need my ID, health insurance, and a credit card. But the funny thing is, the day before, I switched my purse. So I brought a purse that has none of that stuff. And in the US, when you go to the doctor's office, they will check your ID every single time, insurance card every single time. And so I got none of that stuff. And so I was just thinking that, oh, does that mean I need to go home, which would mean I will lose my appointment because I have to make appointment ahead of time, and I don't want to, I don't want it to happen. And I happened to encounter a very nice nurse, and she asked me, "Do you have this?" I said, "Mm-mm." "Do you have that?" "Sorry." And you know what she said? She said, "Okay, I trust you, and don't worry about it." And she just, did everything she's supposed to and just let me go. And so I had a perfect appointment. And I was just thinking about the earlier example I gave. If in my daily life I get, very strict with other people, I'm harsh, I don't give in. I don't forgive other people. And when it comes to my situation, I would get none. I would not get good opportunity. I would not get somebody to say, that's okay. We have to say that's okay to someone first. So we will get that a lot in our life. And then another time, same thing. I went to my doctor and I went in at the wrong time. Somehow I remember it wrong. And I got there way too early. My appointment is in the afternoon and they have appointment back to back to back. And the nurse was so nice. She said, "You know what? Let me figure it out. I'll find a way to squeeze you in." And so I had to wait a little bit, but I got in. I don't have to go home and come back again. So I'm just thinking all these little things are from our daily input of positivity and, help out a little, give in a little, and forgive a little, and we will get it back. And Master San, I love the weekly class when Master San talks about the cause and effect sutra, and he talks about this one example. Okay, just one example. He says, if you're a mother-in-law and you act so bossy to your daughter-in-law and you want to force her to make you breakfast and you have nothing to do, but because she is your daughter-in-law and you forces her to make you breakfast in the morning before she has to go to work and she's already running late. And Master San says this is terrible. When you do things like this and you're trying to cause trouble or you purposely harm somebody, you will get it one day, somewhere, in some other time. So make sure we don't create negativity because we will have to eat it one day. So every day, if we can spread positivity, smile a little. Master San says smiling is giving. So even doing that and also be nice, be kind to other people, we will get it back. That's my sharing.
Thank you, Amy, for your sharing. Um, you know, again, like in the book, it talks about you want to be grateful for every second. So recognizing these little things, it helps to kind of add positive points to your day. A lot of us, we don't recognize these things if we're in a rush and different things, and we just feel like they're doing their job. But again, this is one of those things like if we take a step back and we can really see the good things that happen to us, um, it really makes it easier to be appreciative, grateful for, every second, every minute, rather than waiting just for an occasion or something that happens. Like in Amy's case, it's multiple things that I think for some people they would just consider that, yeah, it's just part of their job. They should help us, we're the customer, we're the patient. But in reality, it's the gratitude. Sometimes people feel that energy and they want to help you even more. And I find that to be the common theme. When we have positive energy, when we are grateful, people respond to that much better than when we are entitled or when we feel, cheated by someone or not getting what we want. That energy tends to kind of trigger people in a more negative way. So again, our day to day, how well our day is, how do people receive us? Do we get smiles or do we get, the side eye? All of these types of things. It's really up to us. The bulk of it is up to us. And then if we do the right things, then you'll see the right, positive outcomes. And it'll be a whole lot easier to be appreciative and grateful for all the good things in your lives. So with that, again, I want to thank our panelists. I also want to thank all the participants online. And then last but not least, we want to thank Master Sun for providing us these great tools to improve our lives. Have a great rest of your night in the US and a great rest of your day in Asia. Thank you.